Hello again. We've made our way across this gradient over here. We was on the other side. This is pretty much a picture plant bog type seepage slope area, and it's embedded within this Sandhill community. And right now I'm going to just hand it over to Scott, and he's going to kind of go through and explain some characteristics within the soil here that show that this is a hydric soil. So Scott, at this point, I'll kind of show you that.
All right, well, the first thing we noticed from this soil, which you can't tell it from the video, but it's the high amount of sulfur smell coming from the soil. The next, which is a characteristic of all wetlands, or not all wetland soils, but a key characteristic of this type, is the muck present. Very greasy within the first probably 2 to 3 inches, and you can tell how sticky it appears there. And just below that, the soil turns a lot sandier, which is a characteristic of being found in a sandhill habitat, sandhill community. We've got high amounts of organic matter, which can be seen by the darkness of the soil. And also, we'll have to look and see if we can find some, but we have some redox depletions here. Appears to be some right here. Kind of hard to see, but see the tan brownish color there shows the redox is present, which is again another key characteristic of wetland soils.
Kind of add here on what Scott was just talking about earlier is we got this really greasy feeling soil here within the first 3 inches. It's really a mucky type soil, and that's also under the United States Hydrological Indicator guideline book. That's considered an A8 through A10 hydrological indicator here, as you can tell. Now I think we're going to kind of try to move up the gradient here, and Scott's going to explain the Sandhill community up here and how the soil changes.
Also, you can tell here about it when you back up just a little bit more, you can see the pitcher plant's located kind of towards the very bottom of the slope. And this appears to be more of a seepage slope for about 30 to 40 feet, as you can tell by the tie and the Atlantic white cedar as well located in. There's some small ground cover grasses. And now we're going to move up out of the wetland. We're probably 5 to 7 feet above. It's 5 to 7 feet in elevation above where we were earlier. We're going to see if there's still any hydrologic indicators still present. Alright, the first thing we notice is there's definitely no soil moisture here, and it's kind of compacted, but when we get it wet, it appears just as it was on the other side of the gradient. It's very sandy, kind of falling apart, won't stick together and make a ribbon or anything like that.
So you'd say this is like a definite sandy loamy sand.
Definitely. It's just like that, pretty much that troop soil on the other side, and I mean it's definitely going to be your loamy sand type soil. I mean there's no indication here, especially in this top layer. I mean we might get a little deeper here if you could get that spade, Scott, kind of get a little deeper here and maybe see if we can get maybe another 3 inches, 4 inches deeper, and kind of get in here and look at this. I mean, yeah, this is pretty much throughout. I mean, even as you get deeper and deeper into this profile, I mean, there's really no indication here. We're probably within about 6 inches here, and the important thing is to get about 6 to 7 inches deep, because that's usually where your hydrological indicators will occur in, you know, your in these areas.
Right.
But that's pretty much as far as, you know, we went from one end of the gradient to all the way across to the other. And what we have found out, you know, is that the soil survey online was proven to be correct. We went, you know, from our sandy soil area kind of down the gradient into more of a seepage slope, which is embedded within this Sandhill community. And it really showed a lot of hydrological indicators, especially on the other side and this side that Scott just talked about. And I mean, it just proves to be, you know, the delineation proved to work out for the most part.
All right, so we're going to regroup into the classroom and talk about our findings.